Welcome back to the WDS Originals YouTube channel. My name's Jason and today we're going to be continuing this V10 DCT E92 M3. And those of you that have been keeping up with the build will know that we're well on our way to having this car complete. Now if you haven't been keeping up with the build and you want to see the previous episodes, head down to the description and you'll find a link to the playlist. And of course, if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button as it massively helps the channel grow. And those of you that watched the previous episode will probably remember me saying this. One of the things that's stressing me out at this point was looking at all this messy wiring. Now I will be doing a completely separate video on how we wired this car up using a standalone ECU. For those of you that don't know, this V10 has also got a DCT gearbox, which means we can no longer run the standard ECU. So we're going to have to run a standalone, and in my opinion, one of the best options out there is a Max ECU when it comes to controlling the gearbox as well. So in today's video, we're going to be unboxing that Max ECU, showing you everything you get in the package, and also going through some of the optional extras that I've purchased in addition in order to control this car. Also, today we're going to be joined by Adil. Now some of you may well have seen Adil on my social media previously, as he has got one of the most savage M50 turbos in the UK. Now he also runs that car on a standalone ECU and wired that car up himself. Not only that, but he's also wired up Danny's PS13 and is currently in the process of setting up a business all to do with the wiring specialities. So why not use his knowledge and also give him a little shout out? So he's going to be coming over, giving us a hand, and the pair of us are going to tackle this job together. So we're going to wire up this E92 M3 and hopefully have it ready for mapping and the dyno very soon. Here it is then guys, the Max ECU. Now, as you can see, we purchased this from PVE and they are one of the biggest distributors for Max ECU in the UK. And I have to say the service from Steve has been top notch, and hopefully a little bit later on we will meet Steve when we drop this car off at his dyno for the final tune. In the box you'll get your pinout diagrams and of course the main ECU. And if you're anything like me, you'd have ordered a few additional sensors in order for some safety. Now to show you guys what sensors I purchased, let's just quickly run through them. Here you can see one of the Honeywell pressure sensors that we're going to be using on this build. Next we have the Lambda sensors, and there's obviously two of these, and these will measure AFRs whilst mapping the car. So there's the other one. Next, we have a few of the plug connectors, which we actually went on to order a stack load more of these, but there's a few that were supplied with the ECU given the sensors that I'd bought. Here's another one of the pressure sensors that we're going to be running with a 1/8 MPT thread, which we're going to have to tap into a little bit later. Next is the Bosch knock sensors, and as you can see, these are quite small. Now the reason we need to run these is simply because we're removing the ionic sensors and the factory coils and go into a set of Audi R8 coils. Now I will explain this in a bit more depth a little bit later on, but continuing with what's in the box, that is the USB cable that allows you to connect to the ECU, and here is some adapters for the vacuum line with reference to the map sensors. So as you can see, there's the vacuum line as well, and one of the final things other than the ECU in the box is this little antenna allowing you to connect remotely. Now of course this is the ECU itself, and upon picking this ECU up it is quite a heavy and bulky unit. Now for some size reference, here is my hand, and it is definitely quite a large unit. So I thought I'd go and grab the old ECU and just compare sizes so that you guys at home can get a reference to how big it really is. Of course this may cause us a few implications. Now here's what's in the other box as well, which is obviously all the wiring that you actually need in order to wire this to your car. Now before we get onto the wiring process, we needed to locate where this ECU was going to go. Now we tried to put it inside this original ECU box, but put simply, it's just too big.
Ain't gonna fit for shit.
See? This is the problem, my friend. I'm going to need to make that waterproof in there, or we run it into the car and I run it in the glove box.
Is there? you say run it into the car, like you haven't got 12 looms that need to pass through.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we can get rid of that cooler, and that's a massive hole.
You say get rid of it. Is that built into the actual like fan unit in the car? Or?
Honestly, have no idea. Never taken one out. I'm gonna assume it's probably behind the glove box. Now, as you can see, if we remove that from inside the car, we should have access into the cabin. So it was time to head inside the car and start ripping out the lower half of this dash. We started by removing the glove box and everything that was inside it, throwing all that rubbish backwards, and started working out exactly how this electric fan needed to be removed. Now with that glove box dropped, we had a bit more access, but still not quite enough. As you can see underneath, we can see through to the factory loom and also just make out where that electric fan is. Now after removing a few more modules and lowering that fuse box, we could see where the factory harness went through the bulkhead and also that electric ECU fan. Now we can see here it's a little bit loose as we've already unbolted it from the front, but removing this is going to be a bit of a pig. There's not much room and it's also quite a bulky, awkward thing to remove. And after many swear words and a few cut fingers, we finally had this electric ECU fan out of the car. Now given the size of this thing, I was quite optimistic that we'd be able to run all of our wires and everything we needed through this hole in the bulkhead. Now as you can see here, we can see straight through to the engine. So just to confirm and show you guys at home, I'm going to go engine side and show you through. Now funnily enough, you can also see the torch that I was using in the footwell, which enabled me to remove this fan. Now with this gaping hole, it was time to go and get the wiring harness and start threading it through. Now do bear in mind this is just one of the 4 harnesses that we need to run through this hole, but it will give you an idea and also enable me to work out how I was going to route all this wiring. So you can see it comes through the hole here, and we're planning on running it up through the back of the glove box in front of the fuse box and simply having the ECU mounted in the glove box itself. Now this was a great idea until I found our first problem. The problem being this black piece of plastic that sits at the back of the glove box. Now in theory we could Dremel this out, which will give us access to all of these plugs. So after confirming that there's nothing behind the glove box, it was time to get the Dremel and the angle grinder and start cutting this out. With that ECU now shut in the glove box, we're able to go underneath and look up and see exactly how this ECU sits and how we're going to locate all this wiring. So a quick mugshot of myself and putting my hand up there enabled me to confirm that there's definitely enough room in order for us to run all these wires. Now given all of my test fits had only been using one of the 4 harnesses, I decided to use 2 harnesses, one at each end. So this would just confirm that we had accessibility to all 4 of those plugs. So as you can see, it all fits perfectly, and we'll probably end up 3D printing a bracket to mount this ECU in the glove box. Now shortly after this, I'd put all the ECU stuff away and Adil turned up and unboxed it all again.
That's harness 3, probably one. That one back there is probably harness 1.
They're pretty hefty old things, aren't they?
Fucking hell.
We've got a lot of wiring to do, boy.
Shit. I don't even know if you need it all. What's annoying is you've got injector and ignition or coil 1 through 8 for both, but then you'll need to use the extras to get up to 10.
Right, shall I start getting that engine out of the car and then we'll have it on the floor and a bit more accessible? Right, what do you want off? You want this top box, yeah? You're welcome to put our gloves on, mate. Sorry.
Oh, that's alright. see anything? Stick it on this red wing and things.
Can you do it? Yeah. I'm being a bitch. Good man.
Actually looks a lot nicer than that's like, as in, see a lot more of the wiring.
Oh yeah, the whole wiring loom's all accessible now, isn't it?
Yeah, but seeing how stuff is, these are actually a bit more sensible. I think this is an amplifier for the coils, and you can actually delete all of this.
Okay.
At least it looks that way, because it looks like that feeds power to all the coils. Although, what's this come off of?
That'll be a MAF plug. So there'll be one that side and then one this side.
So they can both work.
Yeah, both of them can get gone.
Do you want to write on a bit of masking tape for us?
Yeah, of course I can. Yeah, so how do you want to go about a game plan of attack? It's
Well, you're obviously going to need to order a lot of parts, a lot of plugs.
yeah, all these little silly plugs and stuff
Two
that I'm going to
oil
need.
scavengers down the bottom, the Vanos pump up front, rewiring the actuators.
Yeah, of course.
Actually wiring it, it's not going to be too hard.
We've got to work that out as well, haven't we? So
Yeah, I'll set the links, terminate the plugs, that's the easy part, figuring out everything, mapping it all out. There's just a lot of
time and
bits
effort.
on the V10. Yeah, order the bits, research the wiring, what needs relays, what can just be powered directly from a 12 volt out of the ECU.
Yeah. I'm also going to order new injectors as well. And you reckon we'll probably be all right not to go down the original ones being standalone. We'll go Siemens Dekers or whatever they are and work out the CC size that we need.
What are the CC are in these currently? Are you planning on going any?
No, mate, we're not running boost or anything, so we'll just we'll go for the exact same. We'll work out what's in them and buy new ones.
Siemens Dekers, and maybe look for some that use like an EV6 connector instead of these EV1 styles. These are alright, but they'll be a pain unless we do this style because you won't be able to
with the
flip.
silly little plug. Yeah, I get you. I get what you're
If you
saying.
have EV6 that's on the side, plugs in a lot nicer. It's the newer style as well.
And after working out a rough game plan of attack, it was time to take the engine harness off of this V10, as of course we were going to be fully remaking this harness ready for that Max ECU. So having meticulously labelled everything, we then took the entire harness off as one, laid it out on the floor and started working out how to replicate this with the Max ECU. Now there was going to be some things in this original harness that we didn't actually need, and also some things that we needed to add. And having the old loom laid out on the floor and the engine out of the car would obviously make this process a lot easier. Now in order for us to work out everything we needed, including every single individual plug, we had to fully strip this loom apart. We also needed to detail every single wire so that we could make crib sheets and correlate that back to the Max ECU. So we removed all the plastic sheathing, all the loom tape, and started splitting these wires down individually and labelling them accordingly. Once all the labelling was done, we had a much clearer picture of everything we needed to do. We were then also able to put together a list of every single plug that we needed to order. So I'm going to go sit on the laptop and spend some money ordering all the plugs that we need and invite you to come join us next week where we're going to be making many modifications to the V10. And if you want to check that episode out, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button as it enables you guys to stay up to date with everything that's going on. But also it's the free way that you can help me and the channel grow. Now, of course, I just want to say a massive thank you for watching and I look forward to seeing you on next week's episode.